Hey, what's going on, guys? So today we're talking about another episode of Dueling Book Commentary. It's our Dueling Book Commentary. I actually think I have done commentaries for two of these people already. A lot of times when I try to shoot Dueling Book Commentary, the duel just doesn't work because either someone just goes AFK or just something really weird happens. But anyway, I just saw exclamation point. He is playing Zodiac. He was playing against some weird frog deck. And that was going to be the video, and then the other person quit immediately. Exclamation points is going up against CCG, which is his clan name. Final Gamer the 12th. I believe this is the mirror, but Final Gamer could also be playing Blue Eyes. Those are my two guesses. But anyway, Final Gamer has 1207 rating with 568 experience. Exclamation points is 1247 rating with 707 experience. So really close in rating and experience. We see Ram being normal summoned with Broad Bull going on top of it. Broad Bull searched something. Broad Bull searched possibly. I missed what Broad Bull searched, to be honest. But then we saw Chakanine being summoned on top of the Broad Bull, and then Ram being summoned due to Chakanine's effect. We could see a Link summoning of Mrs. Radiant because Zodiac Barrage is still legal. And this is kind of how Zodiac, this is kind of the state Zodiac is. It is still the best deck of the format because it has yet to be hit, and it most likely will not be hit for the foreseeable future. By foreseeable, I mean 2 weeks. Because it's September, it's probably going to get hit. Unless the ban list comes out later than that, and it probably will get hit on the next ban list for real this time, because it has taken hits the last two ban lists. Remember, 2 ban lists ago, Rap here went to 2. The ban list after that, Norden went to 0. That did affect Zodiac both times, but that really didn't do anything to the deck at all. Anyway, we do see Barrage coming down, hitting Ram. Ram dies. Broad Bull, or Thoroughblade, excuse me, is special summoned, and then Thoroughblade's effect is chained to Ram's effect. Actually, no, Ram's effect's chained to Thoroughblade's effect. It doesn't, I think this one would resolve first, right? This card. No, it doesn't have to resolve first. Because it says can, too. So yeah, but anyway, doesn't matter the overall result of how it's going down. What we do see, though, we see Thoroughblade pitching Rat Pierre, Ram summoning Broad Bull, Tiger Mortar coming on top of Chakanine, detaching Chakanine, attaching Rat, detaching Rat, summoning Rat. And we see Rat Pierre and Tigris used, or Tiger Mortar used, for the summoning of probably a link to Mrs. Radiant. Interesting little support here. I hope, because what it appears is that every set for the next foreseeable future is going to have at least all of the elements. Because I know there's the water one coming out soon. I don't actually remember the name of the next set. It's escaping me right now. But there's a water one coming out soon that's like all water monsters gain 500 attack and defense, and all, earth or what have you, or fire monsters most likely are going to lose 400 attack. I just hope the fire one is good, because it seems like fires are always just bad. Like the elemental hero fireman's not that bad, but the Shaddoll fire one's not that great, and the Ritual Beast fire one's not that great. The invoked fire one's okay. But anyway, after Mrs. Radiant comes down, we see Borbo and Hammer Kong put on top of Broad Bull, and Dryden come on top of Thoroughblade. So Dryden is at 1600 attack, and Hammer Kong has to be targeted by card effects. But we see... Ooh, that's cool. We see Pot of Desires activating, banishing 10, drawing 2. We see a Dark Hole met with Pianismo, which is an interesting little tech. It's essentially similar to My Body as a Shield. It's not as good, though. You target one monster, its original attack becomes 100. Also, that face-up monster cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Now, Trident, if Trident red discards... If Trident's affect red, and it doesn't matter now because it just got Kaiju, but if Trident's affect red, this card's attack is equal. Instead of saying gains, it just said this card's attack and defense is equal to the attack and defense of the Zodiac monsters attached to it, then Pianismo would make Dryden's attack 0, or make it 100. But because Dryden gains, his original attack becomes 100, and then he gains the 1600. So he was at 1700, but then he got Kaiju'd. We see Tenki activating, searching out Thoroughblade, and Thoroughblade normal summoning. It's gonna ditch a card, and we're gonna see a drawing. So the Whiptail got pitched. Just a really good card to ditch, even in Link formats, because now you can go Borbo, Tiger Mortar, detaching Borbo, attaching Whiptail, and then you got a pretty big Trident, and you can also search for another Whiptail as well. Yeah, if that whole thing does occur, we'll have a Whiptail, which is 2400, plus 1700, which he didn't search the Whiptail. He may already have one, but anyway, plus 1700. That'll be, the math is really hard for some reason. 3100? 4100. Yeah, 4100 plus Tenki, which is 4200. Trident, 4200 DD Crow or DD Warrior Lady that inflicts piercing and can pop a cards once per turn. It seems balanced. But anyway, we see Chakanine summoned, and her effect attempts to activate. Max C is chained to that, and so exclamation points is going to now be drawing cards. Interesting. He waited that long to do it. But actually that was not, I mean, yeah, there's some merit to doing it a little bit earlier. So we're going to see Trident ditch, Trident's going to detach Chakanine. I saw that coming. I don't know how I knew that, but I saw that coming. Trident detaches Chakanine. Ghost Ogre is chained to that. This card should be destroyed. But anyway, Trident detaches to get rid of... Okay, why did Trident detach? Ghost Ogre doesn't negate. What just happened? Okay, we saw Trident's effect activate to detach, to negate, to destroy something. Nothing got destroyed. Unless it destroyed... Did he destroy the Barrage? No, Barrage just got destroyed. Yeah, because Ghost Ogre... Yeah, so... Trident attempted to destroy something. Ghost Ogre got chained to that. My body got chained to that, which I said I saw coming. And Final Gamer lost 1500, but then nothing got destroyed for Trident's effect. Trident's effect should have resolved. So that is interesting. But we see a rat normal summon combo going to the grave. We see 3 cards set. 1 card in his hand, he passes. And that's really relevant because Trident had to beat over Gameciel. Which I don't think he should have had to, because I thought that's who Trident was going to attempt to pop. Maybe I missed something. That's definitely possible. These two players are moving pretty fast, and I'm talking about other things as well. I was trying to think of the attack that Trident would have with a Thoroughblade and 2 Whiptails. But we see Broad Bull coming down on top of Trident, detaching Trident to probably search for another Whiptail, but maybe another card as well. We know he already has Rat in his hand, though. We could see a Mrs. Radiant of Final Gamers coming up very soon. You could detach Chakanine, special summon really anything, Trident, or just anything, and use those two, or use Chakanine and what you summon to summon up Mrs. Radiant, and go from there. I'm assuming exclamation points back row is live, but I'm not sure how live it really could be. He went first. He drew 1 card off Max C and 1 card for turn. So he's got 2 extra cards in his hand, other than the cards he had during his first turn. So that means that there are 2 cards that exclamation points didn't have access to during his first turn. And the reason I'm saying all that is because he set 3 cards. And out of the 4 cards he has, he didn't have access to 2 of them. And that means that of these 3 cards, at least one of them has to be a bluff. Because at least one of them he should have set already if it was real. Like, here's what I'm trying to say. If he had a Storming Mirror Force, Solemn Warning, and if he drew Torrential Tribute and Solemn Warning off those 2 cards, Alright, forget the example. What I'm trying to say is that these are probably not real. Maybe one of them is real, but that's about it. We haven't seen any effects being stopped, being negated, or anything. All we've seen is Mrs. Radiant comes down like I anticipated. We saw Borbro go down on top of the rat, and then we see Rat summoning, or Borbro is summoning Rat. Tiger Warrior coming down on top of Borbro, detaching to probably attach Whiptail, maybe Thoroughblade. Keep in mind that this card and this card gain 100 attack thanks to Tenki and 500 more attack thanks to Mrs. Radiant. So these two are at 600, Mrs. Radiant's at 1900, and Tiger Mortar is at 1200 plus 500, which is 1700, plus 100, which is 1800. So as I anticipated, with my overly long explanation as to why I think these are bluffs, these are bluffs, and Final Gamer anticipated them being bluffs as well. Trident comes on down on top of the Tiger Mortar, and that does see the Solemn Strike, so not all of them were bluffs. Okay then. I personally would have tried to Solemn Strike before the battle phase, so I maybe could dodge some damage, but that's fine as well. You know, you can strike whenever you want to. But now, we see combo attempt to activate, and we see combo on the other side of the field get chained to that. But if you would have striked Tiger Mortar's effect to attach Whiptail, what does Final Gamer do to get that amount of damage back on the board? Like 1900 attack, 1900 was lost to exclamation points because he let Tiger Mortar go. Now I understand Final Gamer could summon out Dryden on top of Hammer Kong, and that's probably what exclamation was waiting for. He was waiting for, I gotta watch out for the Dryden, I gotta watch out for the Dryden. He was probably waiting for that, but I don't know. I don't think that was the correct play, because you can out the Dryden eventually, but having 900 life points to 6,500 is going to be hard, especially when your opponent has a live combo. You have a live combo as well, so essentially that chance of gaining card advantage off combo is not going to be doing a lot. Also, thanks to Mrs. Radius's Link Monsters, Final Gamer is not helping exclamation points at all with any new Link spots. We do see a Whiptail come down, though. Not sure what Final Gamer's back row is, but it could be something. I think the auto Dryden was because exclamation points is trying to bait Final Gamer's back row with something. He probably has maybe a barrage or a Tenki wouldn't really help here, but maybe a barrage in his hand. Maybe a soul charge wouldn't help here either. That's what I'm saying. Like, life points matter, you know. It's like Simo said. He didn't. Well, he said life points are like Monopoly money. You don't need them to win, but if you don't have any, you lose. But we see Dryden's effect attaching Whiptail to destroy Hammer Kong. Keep in mind, Mrs. Radiant, and this was activated earlier, but Mrs. Radiant, when it's just, if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target one Earth Monster, add it to your hand. So it's kind of got that Totally Awesome, the worst effect of Totally Awesome. It has that effect on it too, but it's Earth instead of water. And we see Chakanine get Solemn Warning. In my opinion, that should be game, unless exclamation points has a Mirror Force that he drew for turn, or a Barrage, which, yeah, he does have the Barrage. Man, so Final Gamer has no response to that. 4 cards in his hand, no Ash Blossom, no Maxi, no Ghost Ogre. All of those would have destroyed the Barrage. Maybe Maxi wouldn't have destroyed it as much, because you can still play through it, but at that point, 900 life points, you're giving your opponent how many cards? It's not a good idea. This is on the field, so right now the strongest monster on the field is Thoroughblade, and whatever goes on top of Thoroughblade is going to be the strongest monster. That's Hammer Kong. Keep in mind, Chakanine and Dryden's effect to be special summoned using one Zodiac as material has already happened. So they cannot be special summoned that way this turn. We see Tiger Mortar detaching and attaching Whiptail. And we're probably going to see a Broad Bowl detaching the Tiger Mortar to search for another Whiptail to get a big as crap Broad Bowl on the field. And he will have 4100 attack, plus 500, actually. Right? Yes. So he'll have 4600 attack, thanks to Mrs. Radiant. And 4600 is actually game, unless Final Gamer has any way of stopping it in his hand, which I can't think of a battle trap from your hand that would help Final Gamer in this situation, unless the Whiptail's in grave. The Whiptail should be in deck or in his hand. The reason why I'm saying this is game is because right now Rad is at 100, thanks to Tenki, and Broad Bull is at 1200 plus 1200 is 2400, 1700 is 3400, 4100, and Mrs. Radiance is 500, puts Bravo at 4600, which is 4500 more than Rapier, which is the exact amount of life points Final Gamer has, which is sad. Let's see what the chat is saying about this. Not that. This. Oh, okay, I didn't want that. Oh, right. That kind of scared me, I don't know why. What? You had game! You had game! Why'd you scope? He didn't... Okay, here's my... What? I'm sorry, I'm not over that yet. I think he didn't account for Mrs. Radiant. And here's what he was thinking. He was thinking, okay, so if I attack Mrs. Radiant, she's going to get a search. He's got 4 cards in his hand, he's going to kill me. If I attack Rapier, that's not going to be enough damage. I'm actually going to see if I can send him a message. Only accepts messages from friends. Well, Mr. Exclamation Points. That's unfortunate. Okay, this needs to go away. I did not mean to do that. Why is that still there? Oh, I just added another one. I didn't just add another one. Okay, but see, what is this doing? Alright, so this is going to be on the screen for the rest of the duel. Send message. Close. View profile. I didn't actually want to do that. Exit. Oh, great. I gotta go back in. Why is this still here? Alright, getting back to the duel. We see Thoroughblade summoned. Bravo going on top of that. He may have detached. He probably detached his search for Whiptail. Maybe a Rapier. I missed it because I was trying to get rid of this. But anyway, we see a Hammer Kong go on top of the Broad Bull. Chakanine detaching Hammer Kong, summoning Hammer Kong. And then Tiger Mortar. Let's see what the Watchers just joined. That's right, so I'm going to be able to tell what the Watchers are saying. Watchers could very well not be saying anything as well. We see Tiger Mortar detaching Broad Bull, attaching Thoroughblade, attaching it to Hammer Kong. So Trident gets summoned on top of it. It's really not in the worst spot. Like, we just don't know how many cards Final Gamer has in his deck. We see 3 cards set from exclamation points. So we have a Hammer Kong that has to be targeted by effects, with a Trident with 2 materials underneath it, and potentially a Whiptail in his hand. We don't know what's in exclamation points' hand. It's crazy though. He had game. I just don't think he calculated for Mrs. Radiance. Mrs. Radiance's effect. No way he doesn't have. If he's running Pianismo, there's no... Okay. I was like, there's no way he doesn't have My Body or Pianismo, but Raigeki proving why it is such a great card. Rapier getting normal summons, probably going to send either Combo or Ram Ram. It does send Combo. I have been considering picking up Zodiac, because right now Zodiac, like... Barrage is at an all-time, like the entire archetype is actually at an all-time low, and a lot of people are like, well, it's going to get reprinted, it's going to get hit. Yes, it is going to get reprinted, but what if the hit is like Broad Bull? What if the hit is like Trident? So another interesting tech for exclamation points, Floodgate Trap Hole. I don't think they're super bad techs, the Pianismo and the Floodgate Trap Hole. I don't think they're that bad. I believe this guy is Hammer Kong. But anyway, we see Tenki activated. Final Gamer already used his normal summon this turn. Pot of Desires is activating, banishing 10 cards, and Ash Blossom is chained to that. Man, that is too bad, to say the very least. I think I'm going to refresh the page during their siding, unless exclamation points loses, to get that off. But I already disconnected from this duel, so I don't want to disconnect again. I don't want to disconnect during the duel again. But anyway, we see Final Gamer set 1 in pass. Unfortunately, he should have a 40 card deck, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 18 cards minus 40 should be 22 cards left in his deck. We see Hammer Kong coming on top of the Rat. The Rat sent Zodiac combo to the grave, and in my opinion, even though it's 8,000 to 8,000, exclamation points is in the driver's seat of this duel. Because of that, Ash Blossom was really strong. Final Gamer does have more cards. I believe it's actually now it's tied 5-5. And you can use face down monsters for links. I'm pretty sure. You can use because there's a Subterra link monster. So you can use face down monsters. But anyway, we see Broadbow detaching for Hammer Kong. And the reason I think that's relevant is because if you couldn't, that would just sit here in the extra deck zone, not doing anything. But anyway, we see Broadbow detaching, or searching Whiptail. Probably going to see a standard Zoo play, the summoning of Chakanine to summon out another Zodiac, to summon out Mrs. Radiant. Mrs. Radiant is such a great card. It's a phenomenal card, and I think Zoo's going to be... It's going to be a fun little end for Zodiac this last month of August, this last few weeks before the ban list, where they have just a phenomenal Link monster at their disposal. They can make effortlessly, and it really helps the deck out a lot. Because Zodiac, probably maybe not the only problem, but in my opinion, the number one problem with Zodiac, if you can consider it a problem, is their attack. Their attack gain is just not very strong. I understand you can get there was a 4,600 attack Broadbow on the field potentially last game, but that takes a lot. That takes a lot of game state. And so the fact that Mrs. Radiant's just like, no, they're all at 500 attack at the very least, that is relevant in my opinion. But we see Tiger Mortar come down, summoning. I don't know who that guy is. We see Tiger Mortar coming down. On top, I'm just gonna have to ignore chat for the rest of this video. But anyway, attaching Thoroughblade, gaining 1,600 attack. So now it's at 2,100 attack. Borbo goes on top of it. Keep in mind, Borbo can attack directly. Borbo could also inflict piercing though. So 2,100 life points lost. So we see Borbo's effect being relevant. Borbo's probably not going to get hit, so if you want some janky looking, attack directly with Borbo deck, I think that's going to be at your disposal. I think the OCG has, I believe, Barrage, Broadbow, and Trident, and I think they're all banned, and I think Rat Pier is at 1. I think that's what we're going to get as well, but it's a definite possibility that it won't be that. But we see a Trident coming down on top of it. Trident has 2,100 attack. It can pop a card. It can do things. Twin Twisters is activated, discarding the Thoroughblade, targeting the 2 back row, obviously. We'll see what... Oh, Dimensional Barrier, not being chained. I think the reason for that is because I think exclamation points views Trident's effect as more relevant than Dimensional Barrier. And we see Enemy Controller activated, tributing the Hammer Kong, and Trident's effect... To take Trident, and Trident's effect activated, targeting itself, which is insane. But I think that may have been the right play. You don't really want to give your opponent that powerful of a card, especially because it would go to the main monster zone. So your opponent could have potentially 2 Tridents on the field, and maybe even end the game. But anyway, we see Ram summoned, Borbo going on top of it, Chakanine going on top of that. And we're probably going to see all Earth monsters gain 1,000 attack, because we're probably going to see another Mrs. Radiant come down. I could be wrong. We could see a Tiger Mortar. We could see a Broadbow Searcher Whiptail, and a Tiger Mortar coming on top of the Broadbow to attach the Thoroughblade. We could see that. Keep in mind, combo is in both players' graveyards, and it should be able to activate. I think I would have chained, though, Dimensional Barrier. I don't know. Because Dimensional Barrier, does it say their effects can't be activated, or does it negate their effects? And negate the effects. So, you give your opponent Trident. Trident's got 600 attack until the end phase. Like, is that really that bad? But now, you activate Dimensional Barrier, your opponent can't summon Xyz. And against Zoo, that's really strong. But anyway, we see combo, chained, banishing itself, bringing back probably just 5 extra deck monsters. Probably Brable's going to be the last one. And drawing a card. Nope. Chaka 9. Just kidding, Chaka 9. Hammer Kong. Probably because he only runs one Hammer Kong. But there are 2 Chaka 9 engraves, so I actually don't understand that. But you need to get Broad Bull. I guess you could be running 3 of each. But there are 6. 6 times 3 is 18. You're probably only running one of these 2 cards, though, so it's not super relevant. So he will not be putting back Brawl Ball. He probably runs 3 Brawl Ball, 3 Trident, and 2 of everything else, and then maybe a Gust Emerald or Cast Off, something like that. Tornado Dragon. And, so now the card advantage is exclamation points 4 to Final Gamer's 4. Final Gamer does have a Ram just sitting there on the field. It's got a big booty. It's got 2,500 defense, thanks to Mrs. Radiant, and it floats. I forgot it was Final Gamer's turn. Final Gamer is summoning Tiger Mortar, detaching to attach, and now we see a Trident come down. Yeah, I think not activating Dimensional Barrier was a mistake. I have actually never seen the interaction between the 2 Link monsters attacking each other. I was excited for that. But we see, I still won't, because we see Trident's effect activates to detach, destroy Mrs. Radiant. And Mrs. Radiant's going to search to add Thoroughblade. Trident's going to attack directly with 1,700 attack thanks to Tenki and Thoroughblade. And now we see Final Gamer's combo activated. I don't know why he didn't do it during main phase. Did he not have enough monsters? Maybe he didn't have enough monsters. He just put the Borbo and Chaka. Yeah, he didn't have enough monsters, that's why. That's probably the main reason he activated. It's actually probably not the main reason he activated Trident's effect. So it's a pretty good game state for Final Gamer. It is 4 cards or 4 cards, but you do have a Trident, you do have a Ram who could float. Depending on what those other 2 cards are, definitely could be powerful. This deck seems really balanced, though. This far into the duel, and you have 5 cards in your hand. I'm sorry. But anyway, Trident's effect going to activate on Thoroughblade summoning. Now, what's interesting about this interaction is when... now his attack is 100. But I'm pretty sure if he uses Xyz material, his attack goes back up to 1,600 because he's no longer on the field. He's used as Xyz material, and so his attack should go back up to 1,600. I could be wrong on that ruling, as well. But we see Hammer Kong going on top of Thoroughblade, Tiger Mortar detaching Hammer Kong, attaching Thoroughblade. Trident's effect's already been used this turn. So if I am correct about the interaction between Thoroughblade and Pianismo, Tiger Mortar should have 3,200 attack. If I am incorrect, though, he will have 1,700 attack. Or she. Is it she? Looks like a she. They look like a female. Are all Zodiacs females? I don't think Broad Bull's a female. Yeah, Broad Bull can't be a female. Hammer Kong's not. Chaka 9 is. Tiger Mortar is. We see a Chaka 9 getting summoned. Detaching to attach. Now, I'm not sure how many Mrs. Radiance's exclamation points is running. You might see 2, but if you're running that many Zodiac cards, if you're running enough Zodiac cards to where when you activate combo, you don't have to put back one of your 2 Broad Bulls, if you're running that many Zodiac cards, do you have room for Mrs. Radiant? I'm not sure. But Chaka 9's going to bring back Trident. Which I guess is really not a better option. The 3rd Broad Bull reveals himself. He's going to detach to add the Whiptail. In my opinion, here's what I do. I attach the Whiptail. You can do that at any point. Actually, I summon Trident. I pop the other Trident. I go to battle phase. I attack Ram. Before we do damage calc, I activate Whiptail's effect. Can you activate his effect? I don't think you activate Whiptail's effect during damage step. But right before damage step, I activate Whiptail's effect, attach it. Yeah, that's how I do this too. Now, Dryden either has 4100 attack, or I was wrong about the Pianismo ruling. And he has... Either way, he lost 2,800 life points. Final Gamer lost 2,800 life points. Keep in mind, Thoroughblade and Fixed Piercing and Whiptail banishes, because that's how balanced this archetype is. 400 is a random amount. I think both players are trying to figure out. Okay, so Ram was at 2,000. And so Dryden being at 4,800. I don't think that's right. Oh, it's 2 Thoroughblades, not 2 Whiptails, so that changes. What's important is neither player is arguing about the current game state, so even if there is different math to be done, it's accepted game state, and the accepted game state is 3,500 life points for Final Gamer and 6,300 for exclamation point. Thoroughblade comes down, he's going to discard to draw, and Dryden is going to chain to destroy. Dryden's still fairly big, though. Dark Hole is activated. I probably would have done that first before summoning Thoroughblade. Oh, he drew it. I'm stupid. I was like, why didn't Dark Hole come down first? It's like, obviously, because he drew it off of the Thoroughblade. I think I was just trying to see what my ruling was. I think, though, my ruling is correct on Pianismo. If it's used as Xyz material, its original attack goes back. And we see Soul Charge coming down. Mrs. Rating actually wouldn't be that good. I don't know why I got excited about Mrs. Rating come back, but the links point down, so that wouldn't be very good. We see Thoroughblade, Whiptail. Only those two coming down. We know that Final Gamer has no cards in hand. He has a Broad Bowl that he has access to. His Mrs. Rating that he has access to. You could honestly make Broad Bowl the normal way here. That's not correct, but you could do that. But we're probably going to see, because I think there is another Zodiac. Yeah, there's a Thoroughblade in Grace. We're probably going to see Borbro for Tiger Mortar or Hammer Kong for Tiger Mortar, detaching Borbro or Hammer Kong for Thoroughblade, summoning Broad Bowl, searching Whiptail, and then attacking and hoping that these aren't relevant. Actually, you can't attack because you activated Soul Charge. You cannot conduct your battle phase the turn you activate Soul Charge. And Dimensional Barrier, calling Xyz. That should be the duel. I would have done it after Hammer Kong got summoned. I don't know why he didn't. I guess it doesn't matter. I guess now because you can target Whiptail or... I think Broad Bowl is less defensive than Hammer Kong, so there's that. And if it's Hammer Kong's effects are negated... Actually, no, I think he still has to do the cost. It's like Acid Golem. Like even... Is it like... Is Acid Golem like that, though? Man, I could not be a judge. I could be a commentator, but I could not be a judge. I don't know rulings well enough. If you debarrier Hammer Kong, does he still detach in the end phase? But anyway, Whiptail summon, Borbo summon on top of it. I think he did that wrong. Because Borbo can attack directly. I mean, I guess it's not super relevant, but... He wouldn't have to worry about all that. All he had to do... He didn't have another Tiger Mortar, though. I doubt he has another Tiger Mortar. I doubt he has another combo. So he's probably just dealing with what he has. He only has one card in his extra deck. So we see Chakanine coming on top of the Borbo. And the Whiptail. Trident comes on top of that. No cards in his extra deck, so Domain is live. Thoroughblade beating over the Whiptail. That's going to deal 300 points of damage. Trident is not big enough to actually that is game again. I don't know if exclamation points is probably gonna scoop because he has game. But that should be gain if he activates Trident's effect, and I'm going to refresh this page to get this out of here. I'll be right back. So we actually didn't miss anything, but we did get that little box away. So exclamation points could have won this duel already had he saw they had game during the first turn. I guess I could have done math wrong, and maybe exclamation points was doing math right. I'm never, I'm never going to say that I'm always 100% right, but I am fairly certain exclamation points had game the first duel, exact game. He actually, my math was wrong. I remember saying, let's assume Final Gamer has 40 cards in his main deck. He doesn't have 40 cards in his main deck. But now Final Gamer gets to go first. This has been actually two fairly longer duels for Zodiacs. I haven't seen any True Draco or Kaijus from exclamation points. He could have definitely sided them in. But I have seen Final Gamer have Kaiju in his hand. But we see Tenki, I believe, searching Rat, and Rat getting dropped, and then combo following the Rat summon. I'm gonna yawn because it's Zodiac. But I am curious to see how Zodiac. Right now, Zodiac in the OCG is not at all a thing. Because like I said, the last ban list just massacred it. No Barrage, no Broad Bowl, no Trident. I mean, there are things the deck can do. I think if Rat's also limited or it's banned, like there's actually nothing the deck can do. Like there's just really the best thing the deck can do now is to just hopefully get a big Warbow and attack over your opponent directly. But essentially that's like what Lyricists do, but just not as good. Essentially. But the deck definitely deserves to get hit. It's been, it was the premier deck of the March set list, and we were in August now, so the fact that it's still very relevant is kind of dumb. I'm not gonna commentate over stuff that's been happening. Like this is two Zodiacs going against each other. I'm just surprised exclamation points got no hand traps. We have seen him use Ghost Ogre and Max C, and I believe Ash Blossom as well. Yeah, Ash Blossom was used last turn as well, so. No hand traps for exclamation points. Unfortunate, unlucky. Mrs. Radiant comes down. So, if Final Gamer has Barrage, we could see a Hammer Kong next to Trident. I'm trying to think if he could do a Digustal Emerald play. I feel like he could. Because you could do Chakanine, Detach. The Ram Ram's not engraved, though. That would be probably the only way you could do it. Yeah. Which is fine. Hammer Kong next to Trident is fine. But this is a Rapier. Rapier has 0 attack. So right now the Trident has 600 attack. Barrage does get activated. Barrage will target Tenki. I think, I'm not sure if that was a correct play there. I mean, you're sacrificing 100 attack to keep Barrage on the field, but I don't really know if Barrage is going to last that long. Anyway, we see Barrage, probably Tenki, summoning Ram, and Final Gamer is just going to be fine with that field. I would be fine with that as well. He's set 2, he has 2 cards in hand. Depending on what those 4 cards are, could determine this duel entirely. Tenki is activated, probably going to search out that Rat. Ram, keep in mind, has 2,500 defense thanks to Mrs. Radiant. Insane in the membrane. That's insane, man. Insane. Mrs. Radiant is one of the best support cards for Zeus, and they're going to get destroyed. Maybe the deck will still be good. I don't know. Probably not. It's not good in the OCG, so I doubt it will be. But if the bands are different in the TCG, who knows? We see... Oh, man, the Shuffle Reborn coming back. We see Rapier. Normal summon. Attempts to activate his effect. To send combo. Strike is activated in response to that, to chain that. Shuffle Reborn is activated to bring back the Rapier, and Trident is chained to the summon of Rapier. And the Barrage does come down. And we see Barrage for Tenki again. And the Ash Blossom is coming in response to that. I think that's why Final Gamer played it the way he did. Because he's like, no Zoo. They're not going to have any Zoo. I have Ash for Barrage. You know, if I see, you know, Rat, I gotta... He has to discard. He has to banish for Shuffle Reborn. No, wait, no, is that during the draw thing? You can base craft... Okay, you gotta do that. Yeah, okay, that's the draw thing. And unfortunately, though, Final Gamer attempts to activate combo, and exclamation point is just like, I just can't come back from this. So I'm not sure what the set was. 2 cards in his hand was. Clearly, they weren't relevant enough. But sorry about the little message thing up here. If only exclamation points had seen he had game during the first duel. But that's just how it goes sometimes. Thanks for watching. Click that like button. Click that subscribe button. Most importantly, guys, have a great day.